Jalen Milroe, the 92nd overall pick in the 2025 draft to the Seattle Seahawks. It was a surprise for many. The Seahawks, though, and I read through all the transcripts, Chris, of the press conferences that they put out after Milroe. I read through Milroe's. I think the Seahawks feel like they might have gotten something with Jalen Milroe. They're very excited about him, his background, his upbringing, the entire package, what he brings to the table. Oh, and 4.37 speed in the 40.
That's right. I mean, he's an awesome kid. That's first and foremost. We know that. He's a kid that you don't got to be around very long to realize, wow, he's got a positive look on life. He's charismatic as hell, and you can tell he loves the sport, and he's going to do whatever he's got to do. Whether we talk to him in person at the Super Bowl or all the interviews I ever saw him do after an Alabama game or all of that. He's somebody you want to root for. Then, as I told you, I mean, I'm the first 5-6 weeks on NBC Big Ten college football, I was on there almost weekly going, Jalen Milroe's looking like he's going to be the first pick of the draft. Jalen Milroe's the best player in college football. Jalen Milroe is carrying the football team. To your point about Seattle being excited, I understand that. There's stuff to be excited. If you took like, wow, oh my gosh, laser plays, wow, oh my gosh, unbelievable highlight moment, scrambles, runs. I mean, other than Cam Ward, Jalen Milroe is going to be second in that department as far as watching film and breaking him down. The problem is he's also going to have a bunch of plays on there. We're going to go, wow, out of the top 6 or 7 quarterbacks, he's got some of the worst throws and worst plays in there too. And that's where they got to fill in the gap here, and he's got to continue to be patient, and they're going to grow him as a quarterback. And it's a perfect spot for him here. Perfect spot. They'll have a plan for him. I bet you they get him on the field in some capacity, Taysom Hill style. So that'll be great, while all also doing on the side, making him a better quarterback. And they don't need him right now. They got Drew Lock. Drew Lock can be the backup for right now as Jalen Milroe comes along. Perfect spot for him, and a team that's invested in him and wants to make him better. That's when it could work, and hopefully it does for Jalen Milroe.
You know, it's funny you mentioned Taysom Hill because Clint Kubiak, the offensive coordinator, was in New Orleans last year with Hill, and Hill's name came up during the press conference where Mike McDonald talked about the selection of Milroe, and McDonald made it clear this is not a Taysom Hill situation. This guy is quarterback and quarterback only. Here's some of McDonald from Friday after they took Jalen Milroe.
Jalen's a quarterback through and through. He's going to be trained to play quarterback for us, and when he's in there, he's going to be playing quarterback. Quarterbacks can extend the play are incredibly difficult to defend. I mean, the worst feeling in the world is you play the first play of the play perfectly on defense, and you defend it, and you're like, all right, sweet. We did it, and then the guy still has the ball, and then you got to defend the next play, sometimes a third play, and he can kill you in the first play, he can kill you in the second play, he can kill you in the third play, and it's not a fun existence, to live consistently, So he has that ability.
It's a point I make whenever it comes up, and I think we've talked about it here, about the 49ers paying Brock Purdy $50 million a year. Purdy's not a second play, third play guy. Purdy is call the play, run the play, and if it's not there, that's that. Kirk Cousins is that guy too. The best quarterbacks are what Mike McDonald's talking about, guys who can extend the play and make something out of nothing. You've still got to be able to run the play, the first one or the second one or the third one.
Right.
And it can't just be, Chris, it can't be Mike Vick using that speed as a crutch. You've got to develop the rest of your game. You've got to get to a point like Lamar Jackson has.
100.
Where we're going to pass now. I know I could run for 25, but I'm going to try to pass for 17 instead.
Yeah.
Because it's going to develop him more as a quarterback, and it's going to behoove him over the course of his full career, because at some point he's not going to be running a 4.37, but he's still going to have the arm.
That's right. And then it makes you a more dangerous quarterback. It makes your team more dangerous. That's what's amazing about Lamar. That's why Mike McDonald's talking about it. He's going, wait, I got a lot of experience watching Lamar Jackson. I know how hard that is to defend. Thank God when I was in Baltimore, I didn't have to defend him. But I'd like to have one like that. But yes, when you can become the complete quarterback along with that athletic ability, and that's what's special about Lamar Jackson, is he could go 20 passes in a row and just go, wow, he's just surgically destroying us from the pocket. But then that one play where you cover everybody else up and nobody's there, now it's like, oh, I'll get you out of this mess, coach. Don't worry. I'll make something happen. I'll scramble and make a throw, or I'll just scramble and run for 25 or 30 yards like you said, and hopefully that's where they can get with Jalen Milroe. He's got some big-time talent. He's just got to learn the quarterback stuff. I'm surprised to hear they won't want to use him a little bit in some other ways. I'm shocked. I missed that part during the weekend. I really am. But either way, they see a future for him at quarterback, which I do too. It's going to take some work, getting him to read the field more, not rely on those legs like you're talking about. And he's got a few mechanical flaws that he goes back to every now and then that he's just got to stay on top of. Because when he's perfect, he can make you say, wow, he really can. But when he's not perfect, he can make you say, ugh, sometimes too. And that's where we got to get that out of his game.
But you could still have a Jalen Milroe package with him playing quarterback.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess you're right. You're right.
So there'll be ways to use him, but he is a quarterback, and they're going to develop him as a quarterback. And this is where the human element comes into play. John Schneider, the GM of the team, was raving about the human being. And they had him, he said, damn close to the top of their quarterback board. Unique, special kid, special athlete, special kid, special young man, athlete. I mean, he just goes on and on. So they got something here.
I get it.
And Milroe was asked for the message to the teams that passed on him. 3 words: belt to ass. That's it.
That's funny.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
well,
he's got a chip on his shoulder.
He's what? He grew up was his dad a Marine? Is that what I remember? His dad was in the armed forces, right? So I'm sure he's felt belt to ass before. He probably
Dad's
knows
a
what
Marine.
Right.
Dad's a Marine, and Mom was in the Navy.
Yeah, so he's had belt to ass before. He knows what that's all about, for sure. And I'm excited for him. And again, to echo one, I could see him being up there on some people's boards because we just talked about Cam Ward. None of these other guys were elite. That's why a lot of them fell, and that's where so this guy has some elite traits to bring to the table. And the person matters. Again, that's a big thing. We're in an age, again, where there's so much talent and the sport is so popular and there's so many good players. That's where does he love football, character, and all of that is being valued a little bit more here now, more than ever, I think, because there's just an influx of talent. We don't need to take a chance on this guy. This guy's awesome. He wants to be here. He loves it. And I think you're seeing more teams kind of put stock into that stuff more than ever right now, Mike.
By the way, it is amazing to think there was a time not that long ago where belt to ass was a real way to punish and control and direct a child. And I never got belt to ass. I never had to get it. All I had to know about was the possibility of it. That was the nuclear option that I never, ever tempted. I don't even know if they would have been capable of doing it, but just knowing it was there was enough to keep me somewhat in line most of the time. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.